Okay, we will move to item 1.3. If I could ask Dr. Norman Levan to come on up. In March of 2011, Dr. Norman Levan generously gave nearly $14 million to Bakersfield College, the single largest donation ever given to a community college in U.S. history. And prior to that, Dr. Levan donated $5.7 million to the campus in 2006. At that time, that had been the largest donation given to a California community college on record. The two gifts combined bring Dr. Levan's overall donation to Bakersfield City College to nearly $20 million, $10 million higher than any other gift from an individual on record. Dr. Levan's most recent gift is designated to build the Norman Levan Scholarship Endowment that will award $500,000 annually to 250 students to cover fees, books, and part of their living expenses for the year. Almost $700,000 of the $14 million will be used to create a scholarship endowment specifically for students studying Hispanic and Native American cultures. His generosity will provide educational opportunities to thousands of students and will benefit the Central Valley for years to come. In 2006, Dr. Levan's donation to Bakersfield College was used to create the Norman Levan Center for the Humanities, the Levan Lifelong Learning Institute that offers classes to area residents, the Norman Levan Scholarship Endowment, and a special donation to create the Norman Levan Humanities Essay Scholarship. In these difficult times that all of our community colleges are facing, it is so heartwarming to know that Dr. Levan cares and that he chooses to make his donation to Bakersfield City College. Dr. Levan, thanks so much for your generosity. Thanks for your interest in community colleges, and it is with this resolution that our Board of Governors recognizes your contributions. With that, I'm going to ask the Chancellor to say something as well.
Well, I learned something new about Dr. Levan this morning. I understand Gary Reed was one of his patients. So so anyway, I'm sure there are thousands and thousands of patients in Bakersfield and in the surrounding area that owe you a great deal. But of course, we owe you a great deal because you've been so generous to community colleges. And of course, one of the ways in which when we take wealth like this, the one way to make it immortal is to give it to others and to see that students will be going to Bakersfield College from now on in perpetuity. And I remember the words that something, maybe it was Warren Buffett or somebody, said it's kind of a shame if a man dies rich. So Dr. Levan has decided to give a lot of his wealth away, and we deeply appreciate that, your generosity and what it will mean to literally thousands of students down through the years. So thank you, Dr. Levan, for that gift, and I know that the Central Valley is greatly blessed by your medical knowledge and by your generosity.
Now we have Michael Stepanovich, the Executive Director of the Bakersfield College Foundation.
Well, it's been a pleasure working with Dr. Levan these last 3 years that I've been involved with the foundation, actually almost 4 years, I guess. He's incredibly generous. He takes a great deal of interest in the students. one of the great things is to see him each spring come to our reception for our honor students, and to see these students come up to him and thank him, and it just means so much to them, because his endowment already exists, and he's already been able to help a number of students, and of course in the future it'll help even more. And so we're just very, very grateful. And again, Dr. Levan, thank you so very much.
Dr. Levan?
Well, thank you for those very kind words. At least I think they're very kind, because at the age of 95, my hearing's not so good. Well, a couple of random thoughts. Number one is it's very difficult to know how to give. In fact, there's a man named Greg who wrote a book called The Difficult Art of Giving. One of his disciples was the son of John D. Rockefeller. The old man was notorious for being very generous. He passed out dimes. His son thought they'll do better, and with Greg's influence, they founded the University of Chicago and the Rockefeller Institute. Another thought, there's a man who was one of the richest men in the world. He was the founder and the president of U.S. Steel at the turn of the century, and he said, "It's a shame to die rich." And as a result of that, he gave his money away. And how did he give it? He founded all these libraries, which you have in every school, community. Well, coming close to home, Bakersfield College students, if they make they're very tough on their grades there. If they make a B in the academics strain at BC, and they go up to the University of California, clearly the greatest university in the world, they'll make A's. And that speaks well for them. As you know, Kern County is not exactly the richest metropolis in the world. We have a lot of very poor people, very poor. And one of the things that struck me as being useful would be to provide an opportunity for the kids to go to college, and that's why we set up these funds. How well they're used depends upon how the faculty. President Chamberlain is a very good friend, and I have some other very good friends on the faculty there, and it's been very, very encouraging to see what they're doing with those funds. They're doing it. They're not wasting them. They've done a great deal of useful things. Now, I've also given some money to my two alma maters, which is University of Southern California, and one moment of prayer for the football team. The other one is St. John's College, so-called Great Book School.
Yeah.
In fact, I can truthfully say I was very badly educated until I decided to go back to college and got a Master of Liberal Arts from St. John's. What encouraged me about that was, for the first time in my life, I was reading original readings, not interpretations, not summaries, but the actual primary readings. I think that we're looking forward to having a collaboration between St. John's and USC, which needs all the collaboration it can get. And maybe have a modification of the Great Books program offered there. Well, as I said at the beginning, it's difficult to know whether I've done reasonably well with his gifts to BC, Bakersfield College. But I have great confidence in the people there. One other word I should say, about my own profession, a man named George Bernard Shaw wrote a book called The Doctor's Dilemma. And in the prologue to it, he says, every profession, and that includes medicine as well as teaching, is a conspiracy against society. It is indeed. And we have to be very careful that we don't abuse the privileges that we have. Historically, very interesting about the position of physicians. I'm uncomfortable in the practice of medicine insofar as I become a little businessman. In classic Rome, the physician was an employee of the state. I would be very happy to be, as firemen are, a state employee. I don't see that happening because of the opposition, of course, of the profession. Well, I've rambled on longer than I have thoughts about, but I would welcome any questions and your input. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Okay, Dr. Levan, we have this resolution for you. Oh, that's another one. Oh, it's over there.
No, this belongs to this. There we go. Should be back there.
Yes.
Come over here.
Good. Thanks again.
Okay, congratulations again to those individuals.